Our next story is about wildlife, specifically wildlife conservation. Animal biodiversity is plummeting the world over. Between 1970 and 2018, wildlife populations fell by almost 70%, 70% fall. It means that animals are dying in record numbers, and the main cause is human activity. Humans are encroaching upon animal habitats. We are competing for space and, unfortunately, putting animals to the sword. By all estimates, this will likely continue. But despite this grim forecast, there is some hope. There are initiatives with a focus on animal welfare, missions to protect endangered biodiversity. In fact, one new project was launched this weekend in India. The Vantara project in the state of Gujarat. It means Star of the Forest. And it seeks to become the foremost animal conservation project in India. Here's our report.
In the Indian state of Gujarat, there is a city called Jamnagar. It is mostly famous for one thing. It is home to the world's largest oil refinery. But now, something new has come up here. A conservation area with a focus on protecting indigenous Indian wildlife. It's called Vantara, meaning Star of the Forest. It's an effort launched by Anant Ambani, a scion of India's Reliance group of industries. Reliance also owns the aforementioned world's largest refinery, making it easier for them to set up the wildlife project in Jamnagar. Vantara isn't your typical wildlife sanctuary though. It is focused on rescue and rehabilitation instead of just conservation. Animals from around India and some other parts of the world are brought here for treatment. They are rescued from hunters, poachers, circuses and other instances of human-animal conflict. Once they are in Vantara, they are treated and have a chance to recuperate in a homely environment.
The team has created a wildlife sanctuary and each enclosure has its own biodiversity. From the plants to the water body to even the rocks and the logs are from originally where the animals came from. Our focus is that India should not have any wild animals suffering.
Presently, Vantara is home to over 200 rescued elephants. In fact, elephants have been given a special priority in the sanctuary. About 3,000 acres have been devoted to their rehabilitation. This includes a 25,000 square foot hospital for them. And even a special 14,000 square foot kitchen. After all, elephants are massive creatures. They require equally massive helpings of food. But while elephants may have a special place in the project, Vantara also protects all other animals it comes across. Tigers, leopards, bears, even pythons. All these species have been treated in the Vantara facilities. There's a 650-acre site devoted to rehabilitating animals other than elephants. So what happens to these animals after they're recovered? That's where conservation comes in.
We would also like to conserve and breed critically endangered species so we can release them back in their habitat. Because a lot of species, even today as we speak, species are going extinct.
More than 41,000 species are under the threat of extinction, many because of a loss of natural habitat. There has been about a 70% decline in wildlife populations since 1970, and this has not been spread evenly. Europe and North America have seen about a 20% drop in wildlife numbers in that period because they happened to wipe out their biodiversity much earlier, during the early years of the Industrial Revolution. On the other hand, the developing world is now seeing its biodiversity loss. South America was the worst offender, with a 94% loss in biodiversity. Then there was Africa with 66%. And then comes the Asia-Pacific region with 55% biodiversity loss. India falls into that third group. It means the country's wildlife is definitely at risk, unless projects like Vantara are developed to shield it.